See Mum. Good evening. So I'm just back and walking the dogs. It's a bit chilly outside, it's 2 degrees. I'm going to make a cup of tea. I'll be back in a moment, chat through my winter camping gear. Well, good evening. So my first challenge is, can I do this in one take? So, winter camping gear. So before I jump into that, I'm going to go through very quickly the things I'm wearing, carrying, and my everyday items I have on me. And these are items I have for any camp. So, emptying my pockets. So, Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army knife is my everyday carry, along with the car key and front door key for the house. I then have a Nightcore MH20 torch, super small, up to 900 lumens, 5 different settings. It's also got a strobe setting, SOS, and something else. Generally, it's a torch. Wet wipes, cleaning, tidying, and you know what. And the dog walker poo bags. Also come in handy for taking your rubbish. Stick it in a poo bag for carrying your rubbish outside. Jumping in that pocket is my iPhone 8 Plus and a pair of headphones. And I'll tell you what, if you're doing a long winter's night in a tent, headphones and listening to music help the time pass. Before now I spent 14 hours cooped up in Acto on Dartmoor. And that's about the only thing that keeps you any comfort and sanity. Right, clothing wise. So before I jump into the clothing, very quickly, I was planning a hike this week, or this weekend. For whatever reasons, things were really busy, didn't happen. And I wanted to go on a winter hike in sub-zero temperatures. And late November, early December now in the UK, we've recently just come for a few frosts over the weekend. And I want to go and test my gear. Part of the reason for testing the gear is actually my new sleeping bag being the Rab Mythic 400. The Rab Mythic 400 sleeping bag is only 660 grams. It is rated between -1 to -6. So it should be absolutely fine, and I've got a decent amount to go below that. The reason I want to test it is out on Great Mist Tour just over a couple of weeks ago. Met up with Sandy and Si. It was around very low degrees at night. We stood around for about 3 hours chatting most of the evening. I then got in the tent and stupidly I kept all my clothes on to be warmer in the morning, getting out of the tent and not putting cold clothes on. Now I never do this, and I know in my head I should have never done that. I should have taken my clothing off. My body heat will keep the sleeping bag warm. Now I stood around for about 4 hours, got a few layers on top. My legs and my trousers, my Fellraven trousers I'm wearing now, they were ice cold. I took that cold weather into the sleeping bag and I was quite uncomfortable for a chunk of the night. Going forward, I would not do that. There's a few changes in here and things I would wear. But generally, I don't believe in taking your clothes that you're wearing into your sleeping bag. I think you're taking the cold into it and then you need to warm the clothing up as well as your body, and that's a mistake. So, I was planning to go to the Brecon Beacons on Monday night, and I was going to do an overnighter like I did several weeks back, going out on a school night. Now the reason I didn't do this, because I want to take you guys along, I wanted to film it. By the time I finished work at 4:30, 5 o'clock in Bristol, it was Severn Bridge to Brecon, it would have been probably 6 o'clock I was getting there. It would have been pitch black already. I have no issue doing a night hike, more than capable of doing it, done it on a few occasions. And I was going to hike out into the a chunk of the horseshoe going around to Fanabig. Come up there and go up onto Cribbin and camp on Cribbin for the night. And it would have been around about -3, -4. Exactly the conditions I want to test my equipment in. The reason I didn't do it is to get back into work the following day. I'd be up about 5:30 in the morning. I would have then been happy packing down and leaving the mountain by 6 AM to get back to the car by 7 o'clock to give myself enough time to get back into work for 8:30, 9 o'clock with a bit of contingency. The issue being is I would have walked out in the dark, hiked in the dark, camped in the dark, filmed everything in the dark, and left there still in the dark. It would have made a pretty useless film, and that's the main reason why I didn't do it. So hopefully in the next few weeks we're going to get some really cold weather and I can use this stuff properly, but you'll have an idea of what I'm taking now with me. So clothing wise, I'm wearing a thin merino wool style t-shirt, fell waving trousers, and I've got on a thick pair of smart wool socks. This is exactly what I've been wearing. I have a Patagonia thin puffer jacket that I was planning to wear. That weighs about 400 grams, pretty lightweight, quite thin. And as an overlayer, I've got my mounting equipment Lahotzi jacket, Gore-Tex jacket. It's Gore-Tex Pro. It's really waterproof. But also love it because it's got the zips under the arms. Oops. That you can unzip. Helps with breathing. And those 2 layers on, so I was walking the dogs this evening. It got down to about 2 degrees outside, and once you put a decent pace in and warm your body up, that was more than adequate, with a additional hoodie on my head. And that kept me warm, and that was what I was going to wear hiking and would wear hiking in any winter months. If it got particularly cold, I do have an additional wool layer I could use as the base layer. If it's particularly rainy as well, I would also opt out for a Ortlieb dry bag, which is just better waterproofing than what I've got in here. But this equipment is pretty light. Whoops. Bigger items in here of weight is 1 litre of water in an Nalgene bottle. I'll come to that in more detail. My tent pegs and bars, that is for my Hilleberg Soulo. And then I've got an additional flask in here as well. This flask, by the way, is a hydro flask, and quite frankly I think it's fairly useless. Cold beverages fine, hot beverages in really cold conditions you can put in here boiling hot. Within 3 to 4 hours it is lukewarm, but that's fine for a walk out full of coffee to keep me warm. First aid kit, and as I want to stay warm at night, I was planning to have a good chunk of soup to get hot fluid in me. Breakfast, yes rice pudding. MSR titanium knife and fork. MSR Titan kettle and gas can. Toothbrush. Stand for the gas can. Snack bar, snack bar, snack bar. More calories. And I have 3 titanium pegs that I keep in here as spares. These also are handy in really crap conditions. And once you put the legs out with the gas can, you can, if need to, fix it to the floor. That is the top pocket done. This bag is a Levity 48, it's 48 litres. The Levity model is a lightweight stripped down ripstop nylon bag, basically made of tent material. It's great as it's got the airflow on the back. But as far as equipment goes, making this lightweight, I literally have this rucksack barely full. There is a ton more storage in the top here I could fill up. Right, so to keep things simple, I have taken my Hilleberg Soulo and stuffed it straight into the rucksack, as is, taking up minimal space, and then everything else is, that is light as a feather, 800 grams. everything else is in this extra large X-Bed dry bag. To keep it protected, I have taken the snozzle bag, which blows up my mat, and double lined this to give it more protection. As I said, if it's particularly wet, I would probably upgrade for this one, a fraction heavier. And if it's particularly wet, I would possibly opt for going for a wall layer, as that still keeps you insulated even if it's damp. Right, so first item. So this is an additional down jacket. Now I opted recently for buying a thicker down jacket and then decided I would only ever wear that for a few months of a year. So I bought a second down jacket, which is rarely going to see the light of day, as this is going to remain in my rucksack and be worn mostly in the tent. This is a rather small Arc'teryx lightweight hoodie. It's down again and weighs an entire 310 grams, which is absolutely nothingness, and comes with a little stuff sack. That will be coming with me on most trips now. I'm being used at night. This is my sleeping bag. For those of you who've seen the previous video on my sleeping bag, this is a Rab Mythic 600. A Rab Mythic 600. Now this is one of the main reasons why I want to test my equipment. This sleeping bag is only 660 grams and rated between -1 and -6. If you read the rating information, -1 is recommended for a lady, -6 is rated for a man. So this should be adequate on its own. The reason I'm slightly sceptical and I can't get my head around this is being so lightweight and just 660 grams, and previously before this I had a Rab Ascent 700. It's very similar ratings. The Rab Ascent was rated -2 to -8.5. This is -1 to -6. I suppose a simple comparison where I can't get my head around it is you may have a high tensile strength cable wire that's 1 millimeter thick that could carry, for example, a ton in weight. And logically, something so small and so thin shouldn't carry something so heavy, but it could. And this is the logic I have on this. It's so thin and so light that I can't comprehend in my head that it's going to keep me warm at night. And this is why I want to test it, and test it to a decent condition. I'll come back to that in more detail. So, with the test and keeping warm, I have a pair of merino wool long johns and a long sleeve top, which I would wear at night with nothing else, other than a beanie. Now this little beanie is designed to go on your head as such. I would actually wear this, looking a tad like Daredevil, at night like that, cover my eyes up, especially in the summer months, but I cannot stand waking up in the early hours of the morning with sunlight. Anyway, I'm clearly not Daredevil. Right, I'll go there too. Within that, I will have a silk liner for the sleeping bag. I have a spare pair of socks, so if these were damp, I would also wear those in bed at night. If I were getting damp, I have a small little knick-wax towel for cleaning myself, for drying myself, and then my mat itself. So again, if you've seen my previous video regarding the Rab sleeping bags, this is a X-Bed Down Mat Ultralight Winter M. It's 9 centimeters thick and has a R value of 5.9. This is rated, I believe, down to something like -32 degrees. This is more than adequate to insulate you from the floor, and part of the reason that pairing this with a lighter weight sleeping bag, this is what should be keeping the cold out. Right, so we have the snozzle bag, and the last item in here is my tiny little blow-up X-Bed pillow. And that literally is all the gear I would take for a cold 1 nighter overnight. If I was doing a multi-night, 2-3 nights, there really is little here I would change. The only thing I'm going to have more of is more food, more snacks, and the only additional item I haven't got packed here, which I didn't need for a 1 nighter, is a water filter. The current one I've got is particularly large and I'm looking to change it. I want something like a small, simple soil water filter, tiny, lightweight. Right, back to this. So the reason for buying the Nalgene bottle specifically was really as another option of keeping warm at night. So providing I drank the water in here or the fluid in here on the hike out, this water would simply go into the stove, heat it up, and then put back in here and use this as a hot water bottle. Now, even in extreme temperatures, you could reheat that as many times as needed overnight and put it back in the sleeping bag to put heat back into the sleeping bag. In theory, it will work. I know plenty of people on YouTube who have done it. As I said, I've yet to test it out. This is new, but logically, as a hot water bottle, that's common sense that you're going to put extra heat into the sleeping bag. Anyway, that is me done. That is my gear. There isn't much I would change. Most of these things I use on a day in, day out basis, whether it's a winter camp or a summer camp. I would change out sleeping bag for a lighter weight one, change out the mat for a lighter weight one, and usually opt for the Hilleberg Acto in the summer months as the lighter and smaller. And that stuff I can actually squeeze into my Arc'teryx Alpha FL 30 rucksack. It's a 30 litre rucksack, but compressed down, it's probably about 26-27 litres sensibly, and that's what I've used over the summer months you would have seen on the various videos. Alright, that's me. Hopefully I'll be back out soon, and see you having to watch a video of me sat in my spare room.